How do we get world peace? Chapter 1. We're individuals, not a communal race. Universal Peace Essay. The short answer as to why we don't have peace is that everyone is out for themselves. We don't have a communal hive brain like the Star Trek Borg does. Society prepares us for a capitalist world. Get a job or start a business to make money to pay your bills and taxes. I read about paying taxes back in King Solomon's time, about 2,500 years ago. The way it is now is if you're lazy, disabled, sick or don't make enough, too bad for you. It's a selfish world by design. They need to motivate people to work in order to build up society. If society automatically took care of everybody, we'd have a bunch of lazy drug addicts, alcoholics, couch potatoes, video gamers, and frivolous meaningless people in general. They make it so that the ideal is a mansion and expensive sports cars. Screw everyone, work for as much money as you can get. Travis Walton was in a truck with 6 guys in November, 1975 near Heber, Arizona when they came upon a flying saucer. Travis, then 23, got out of the truck to take a closer look. He was thrown back, not by a weapon but by the energy field around the spacecraft, whereupon his friends in the truck took off, leaving him there unconscious. The extraterrestrials picked him up, brought him on the ship. They kept him unconscious for most of 5 days, then dropped him off near his home in Arizona. They had some kind of common or communal brain. They didn't operate on the principle of money. They were a team of beings all there for a common cause. How do humans go from capitalism and greed to some kind of communal society where everybody is working for the common good, for the betterment of us all together? The first thing I was taught in Catholic school was that Eve was tempted by the serpent to want more than she had. Then Cain killed Abel because he was jealous and wanted to steal his stuff. How does human society get over that? We can't have a bunch of freeloading bums living off a central government with some people working much more than others to get the same amount of stuff. That's communism. It doesn't work because nobody wants to be a sucker, to work hard so that lazy bums benefit. They did a study with monkeys and found that when some monkeys did most of the work and the lazy ones got rewarded too, the hard-working monkeys got mad. It wasn't fair. We need a sense of fairness. Individuals have to get rewarded for their efforts, not everybody getting the same regardless of effort. How do you get people to be positive and productive naturally without being greedy about it? Peace has already been covered in virtually every holy book ever, except for the few that promote one group as special and everybody else as evil infidels. Jesus talked about loving everyone as yourself. The treatise on love in the Bible is 1 Corinthians 13:4-8. For love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. 5 It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. 6 Love does not delight in evil but rejoices with the truth. 7 It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. 8 Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease, where there are tongues, they will be stilled, where there is knowledge, it will pass away. The Buddhists attempted love and peace as a lifestyle. The Hindus have Kamadeva, the god of love. The Romans, Greeks, Vikings, Indians, etc. all cherished love. The Jews and Muslims seem to be exclusive societies. It's just their group and nobody else is allowed. Jizya is the Muslim tax on people who live in their society but are not a part of their religion. Jews call non-Jews words like Amalek, Gentile, Goy, Goyim, Shiksa, feminine, and Shguts, masculine. We could solve many problems if all of our countries had a policy of treating every citizen as an equal, not making one group the superior group with the others inferior. This is exactly what's going on in the Middle East. You are not a democracy if that democracy only exists for one group and not the other. In the secular world, Immanuel Kant attempted peace with his categorical imperative, which is the golden rule in his words: treat others how you want to be treated. If you can't love somebody, then do nothing rather than do something negative. In the book of Proverbs in the Bible, King Solomon says keep your mouth shut when you're angry. Human beings have not conquered anger. If you can't be loving, try to. Be tolerant. Don't kill. Don't blame. Don't hate. Don't be cruel. Be kind. Help others. I bought a world anthology of history once through a book club. It was over 1,400 pages long, 3 columns per page. Most of the events are about man's inhumanity to man. If you want to see early human history quickly, simply go to the Old Testament of the Bible. The first 5 books are the Jewish Torah. All these books are available on YouTube in audio format. There are many 1950s and 60s Christian movies about events in the Bible. The Old Testament is mostly about the chosen people, the Jews, first killing several tribes in the book of Joshua in order to establish their promised land. Then after that, it goes on and on from King David to Solomon to Samuel on down the line, all fighting someone. Human nature as individuals is exactly the same as it was when humans were created. Human nature as societies has been about money and taxes for most of history. When you're dealing on a capitalist mentality, the game is about getting what you can materially plus getting status and fame in society. Virtually every society has an upper class. What is Instagram except for a bunch of narcissists try to show others how cool and special they are? If you read the old stories from the Epic of Gilgamesh through to the Roman and Greek myths and legends, nothing has changed in human nature. It's about getting what you want for yourself, and if that means screwing someone else, it's what we do. We have the 10 Commandments. The most important ones are number 6 to 10. Don't kill. Don't have sex with a married person. Don't steal. Don't lie. Don't be jealous. Number 5 is honor thy parents. I believe that when you hit adulthood, you should think for yourself and not have blind obedience to parents. Dante Alighieri in 1321, in the chapter called the Inferno of his Divine Comedy, had the genius to identify the 7 deadly sins: pride, greed, gluttony, lust, sloth/laziness, anger, jealousy. That's the whole moral code right there, the 10 Commandments and Dante's 7 deadly sins. Even if you can't love people, don't hurt them, leave them alone, but we can't do that. The human race will not change on its own. I see only one solution. If I was in charge, I'd give the United Nations an unlimited budget to genetically engineer the human race to take out as much evil, anger, and greed as they could. I believe human beings were created by a superior being, so I'm not big on evolution. If we wait for evolution to improve the human race, it might not happen. We need a better human prototype. There are extraterrestrial beings in motherships around our planet. Their civilizations have some kind of communal attitude where their citizens aren't in it for their own greed. They're part of a bigger team. They feel it. The extraterrestrials have some kind of telepathy. They don't use the spoken word. They understand each other through their minds. Something like that would be a step towards some kind of united human race. Other than that, we're going to continue to lie, steal, and cheat each other. We can't help it. Capitalist narcissism runs the world. The media and the internet are mostly about selling stuff and looking as cool as possible. The Old Testament is about one treacherous tale after another of people being scumbags to each other.